Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the house. Welcome into this place. I remember when I was growing up, we used to sing this song, Trav. You might have sang it if you sang it in church. Join in with me. Welcome into this place. Welcome into his holy vessel. And I forgot. You decided. So we lift our hands and we lift our hearts and we offer up praises to your name. Hey, man, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck what nobody said, boy. When I hear sometimes, you got that old school church voice, but boy, I was listening to this old lady on Facebook today, and she was singing that old shit. Did you get that power? Thing I do miss about church is that feeling that go up and down your spine when that hair stand up on your spine when the motherfuckers really get to singing in there. And I ain't felt that out nowhere in the world but church.
Man, that
even when I thought fake. Even when I thought fake, when I went back, I still felt that shit. Something going on in that motherfucker, Trap.
Yeah. You can't deny that, man. That put you on the line. Now I remember I ain't go to church much in my life, but every time I went to church, and I mean almost every time outside of a funeral, at the end when they get to singing and want to tell you to come down and get saved, man, that thing used to take over me every time. I be standing in the middle of the aisle walking down there. You can't deny that feeling, but that's real power though.
Yeah, man. How your week going so far, bro? This is Tough Talk Tuesdays. This is another me and my guy Trey. We tough talks, the conversations that people are afraid to have, the conversations that sometimes I'll be afraid to have. Sometimes I just had to goddamn talk about it and get it out, because if I don't, I'm gonna be mad the rest of the motherfucking week. This is Tough Talk Tuesdays, man. How you this week, man?
Man, this been an analytical week. Yesterday was the anniversary that I began my journey 22 years ago. So man, every time I get to this anniversary, I always say that pain plus purpose equals power. So like you say, 22 years ago, me and my wife, we had a stillborn son and we planted a seed. And so every year, man, getting ready to go into the spring, I analyze how I've grown this year, this cycle, on the journey. So it's been real analytical. And to be honest with you, Javon, man, I've been hard on myself this week, man. Uh, really focusing on my leadership.
I didn't hear that last part, Trav. You say you really been focusing on what?
My leadership, just me as a leader.
I saw your song. I saw your song on. I know you was doing some AI songs, but then when I listened to this, I said, "Damn, this sound like about when he lost his little man." You know what I'm saying? Like this sound like a real song. You said that's a real song you made back in the day.
Yeah. And to be honest, man, I'm glad you asked that. I've been doing music for 22 years. And in 22 years, that song, that's the only thing I ever wrote in my whole life for doing music, is that verse for my son. And I planted that with him. And I ain't never put a pen to paper ever again since I've been doing music. So that song means something to me, man. Like I say, powerful week for me.
That's what's up, man. You know me. Just since we talking about it, man. I'll be honest with you. I try not to look at death days and birthdays a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because you only got one birthday. You know what I'm saying? But the point being, I remember when my mom first passed, the next year of her passing, death anniversary, my sisters was like, let's do some balloons and some doves and shit. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And you know, my family got a cemetery, so you know everybody buried in the cemetery. So it's like, let's do some balloons and some doves. And I was like, I don't necessarily want to do that. And they was like, well, why you don't want to do that? We want all her kids to be here and do that. I said, well, we ain't did that for nobody else up there. We do that for grandma and grandpa. You know what I'm saying? We ain't do that for we ain't do that. So we gonna esteem her above everybody up there. And then it was like, well, then it turned into, well, we gonna clean off everybody's grave, and you know what I'm saying? We're gonna decorate everybody's grave, and it just turned into like I felt like it was a weird memorial to the dead. You know what I'm saying? It just put me in a weird place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I literally can hear my mom in my head. I've had some conversations. Well, I'll get into it, and we'll see what you think about ghosts and stuff and spirits in a little bit, because I guess we just freestyling. But I lost a son before, a stillborn son, and I named him Jasper. And for some reason, that name Jasper was just like, it popped into my head. It was like, well, what you want to name him? I was like, Jasper. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, my ex-wife, man, I watched the baby push out a stillborn and thought, I swear to God, like I looked in the mirror, man, like looked just like me. And yeah, man, but yeah, I that was a traumatic experience for me. I actually passed out, dog.
Yeah.
I passed out. Like, you know when they say you you there for your wife through something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was there holding her hands, and you know what I'm saying? You know how the doctors, when they be doing stuff, they be saying it live time. They was like, because her cervix had bursted, and her water had bursted early. And by the time we got to the hospital, you know, the doctor, they was doing their thing, and I was holding her hand, and they was like, push, and one of the doctors was like, he's not breathing. And as she was pushing, and they said they're not breathing, he not breathing, man, I passed out. I literally passed out, bro. That's how much that thing hit me, of how bad I wanted a child at the time, and knowing it was a boy. That thing hit me, boy. I had all types of thoughts in my head. I wondering, did some girl have an abortion by me, and this is my punishment for? I had all types of thoughts of how it was my fault. You know what I'm saying? So you know, yeah, man, I went through that. And I swear to God, man, you know, every now and then I think about it, but I guess it was just a phase of life. You know what I'm saying? I don't mourn sadness like a lot of people do. Like, I believe that we go into non-physical again, and then it is what it is. I don't have a after death vision or like belief.
Yeah.
Don't make me look at it like as much as different than others.
Yeah, like yesterday when I woke up, man, you know, and you know, throughout the years, sometimes I don't realize what the date is. Or me and my wife, I say, well, you know what the date is, and we be like, darn, you know, whatever. But like I say, everybody is in a cycle. We just like nature. We always in a cycle. And sometime in the cycle, man, we got things working in the subconscious. Kind of like if you got a device and you on Facebook, but in the background you can swipe and realize you got a whole lot of things open. And sometimes our impact in certain points of our life be really working in the subconscious, and you don't think about it, but it really, like I always say, the soul can't keep no secret that behavior won't reveal. And the soul will understand certain things that impacted you. So just like I say, for me, before I even realize what the date is, we still in the winter season. We still in the death season. More people die between November and February right there than any time of the cycle. So this still is a time of death. And a lot of times, like you say, it ain't about thinking. Like some people say, well, what happened to you? What happened to you? And sometimes the question be more powerful than the answer, because there is things running in our subconscious background that truly affect who we are in moments when we don't realize it. So, it ain't about the ritual aspect or the making it theatrical. It's just about recognizing how it works in your soul. And sometimes trying to block it or trying to forget it does more harm than anything, because like I say, pain plus purpose makes power. And the things that we consider pain or we consider negative, man, those were necessary to ground us in a way, in a humbling way, in a humility type of way. It's necessary. So sometimes you got to revisit them to stay strong and be powerful.
And I remember you telling this story before. You said that sharing that moment with your wife kind of like sold y'all souls together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything happened for a reason. What do you think about spirits, man? Just out of curiosity.
I can lie to you and make it sound fly to you. We romanticize things, but it simply means breathing. Breathing come in two parts: inhale, exhale. Anything you take in from the actual air, from inspiration. Matter of fact, the ABC store in North Carolina is called ABC Spirits. Anything you ingest and get under the influence, it comes out in your expression. So spirits is just anything that changes your expression. We can make that deep, or we can keep it simple. But I know that's real in an inhale, exhale type of way.
What about ghosts then? What you think about ghosts?
Like I say, I think it's the same thing. I think it's all the same thing. It all comes up the same truth of the trunk. And you can swing on different branches and hang on it with semantics and different words to make it seem deeper or not deeper. But at the end of the day, if my grandmother influence is on me, or my grandparents' influence is on me, then I'll see reminders everywhere around to know where the reference of truth come from. And we could consider that ghosts, we can consider that spirits, we could consider that them still living in the moment, because they coming out of your expression. Kind of like when we see the exorcism, when it take over and that's just what's in you coming out. It ain't deep. Don't make it deep. Just know we all do it.
Jesus said the spirit is like the wind. You can see the effects of the wind, but you can't see the wind. Come on. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what you were saying about you will always see remnants of your grandparents and things around that, but you won't see them again. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope how that's broken down. I'm kind of sitting back, and I was talking to a guy, and he was saying, "Are you an atheist?" I said, "Man, I'm nothing." And he was like, "I couldn't be an atheist." Da 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 da. I said, "Man, you know what?" I said, "I would rather tell you I believe nothing than tell you I believe I was made from dirt and then a woman made from my rib." I said, "I would rather believe nothing than tell you I believe that, because I know I don't believe that." And I can't tell you what I believe, but I know I don't believe that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people ask me what you believe, I be like, I can't tell you what I believe, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that, brother. If before I believe that, I say I came out the fucking Cabbage Patch. I started telling my daughter, "Well, you want no slave? We came out the Cabbage Patch." But let's get a little bit more current, man. I don't know why that hit me. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about that. And then when you said that situation, you know what I'm saying? I think I had that sage had just kicked in, spiritual house sage.
Nah, that's real. Hey, look, like I say, when you ain't got no script and you coming off the hip, that's part of the spirit. We
Yeah,
let it
yeah,
flow.
yeah.
We let it go, man. This one saying I want to say this. When you good in your soul, don't never be afraid of the wind. Cause good people always land in soft places, for real.
Yeah, I just had an image of that little thing that we used to chase when we was kids. And if you catch it, you get to hold it in your hand and blow a wish on it.
Come
Them
on.
little things that would fly. You said the good souls land soft. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm just sitting back and I'm looking at what's going on in the world now. And I just think, and I'm going to keep saying it, this is the great confusion. This is the great, when they were saying Trump derangement syndrome is a thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about Trump. I tell people this all the time. I'm looking at what we see in front of us. I remember when Trump first came president, black people were saying, he ain't my president, he ain't my president, but he was your president. White people didn't say, Obama not my president, Obama not my president. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I love Trump. This is what I'm saying. I'm talking about the delusion of the world. Say, for example, you remember when OJ was on trial? I thought OJ was guilty.
Yeah.
Did you think OJ was guilty?
I ain't gonna say I thought he was guilty. I ain't gonna say I did. I didn't know. I was hoping he wasn't guilty.
Okay, there we go. Now let's get into what I'm saying. This is the juxtaposition I'm talking about. I thought OJ was guilty, but I was hoping he wasn't guilty. But they had so much shit on OJ, I was scared that OJ was gonna get convicted. But I thought that bitch was guilty. When OJ got off, man, I was crying in school. I remember my senior year, we ran out into the hall. The white kids was on one side of the school crying. The black kids was goddamn celebrating. You know what I'm saying? And it was a situation where, as a black person, I was like, a nigga finally got away with killing a white person. Yeah. I just felt like OJ got away. You see what I'm saying? It was kind of like when Rodney King got his ass beat and them cops got off. The white people was happy and the black people was sad. Now, the point being is this. White people felt a certain way when OJ was found innocent because they thought he was guilty. And black people felt a certain way. In the very same way, when Barack Obama won the presidency, I went to work and white people were quiet and somber, and black people was walking with a motherfucking pep in our step. And they just had to live with it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Now, we living in a world right now where the Clintons are being deposed by Congress. They're going through real live depositions about the Epstein trial. Even Bill Clinton has said out of his mouth, Donald Trump ain't had nothing to do with Epstein. And people are still saying Donald Trump, Epstein, and ignoring the fact that the Clintons are actually being deposed. So my thing is this. What's so hard about maybe if Donald Trump, even if he is guilty, the government ain't fucking with him.
Come on.
Maybe he's Teflon Don. Maybe his name trumps all names. We know that's not it. I don't think that's it. But what's so hard about for this time right here for black people to say, it might be a white guy getting off? What is it about Donald Trump? What is it about this situation where Donald Trump is kissing Israel's ass and all the presidents have kissed Israel's ass? What is it about Donald Trump that's got us so fucking crazy and got the world so crazy?
Too much of anything is bad for the soul. Gotta maintain balance to maintain control. Barack Obama represented a polarity. He gave black people hope. That hope was strong in American history. Like you say, white people had to bear that for 8 years.
Sad.
Here comes the balance. Trump is the balance. The game don't change. The players do. Joe Biden, and let me tell y'all something. In 50 years, Joe Biden's name won't exist in any of this. He's not even. Yeah. All of this. Yeah, if Joe Biden don't exist, it will be Trump and Obama, the two polarities that changed America forever. But here's how you know the game. The game don't change, the players do. Just like you brought up OJ. They wanted OJ. That was balance. That was a real play. And here's how you know it was a play. Because OJ was innocent and nobody really gave a fuck about who killed her. They didn't care anymore. They didn't further to get justice. Nobody really gives a fuck about an Epstein file. I saw a real life pedophile on Facebook. I know him. I know he fucked young girls. Tell me why they won't release the Epstein files. We just saying any goddamn rhetoric to be saying shit because we programmed to say it.
And
But don't nobody care about. Man, don't nobody care about no goddamn children. They don't care. They just care about playing the game, wanting Trump to be somewhat in their mind to justify what they've been subjectively programmed to think and feel. And it ain't deep. That's just simply how it is.
I'm sitting back and I'm watching, and I have to compare it to a woman because there's been times in my relationship where I had infallible proof for something, and I said, "Baby, you sure you want to paint that in the bedroom in the closet?" You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm just painting this little mirror thing. It's gonna be okay. I said, I could take that outside. Oh, I can do it right here. I want to do it. It's chilly outside. I said, okay. 2 days later, it's paint on the carpet and on some of my jackets. Baby, you got paint on my stuff. No, I didn't. I said, baby, you was just painting in here. No, that wasn't me. And it was just a situation where I looked at my wife and I just laughed. I was just like, wow. It's irrefutable evidence right here.
Yeah.
And why does it hurt you so bad to just admit you wrong right here? With the evidence. It was a situation where I laughed, then I went in the back room and cried, Trav.
Yeah.
I'm being real because I was just like, is this something in them or in her or what is this? Like, how do you deny this? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I'm looking at us as Black people. We seeing what we want to see.
Mm.
And this world is showing us irrefutable evidence of something else. Meaning this, the internet keeps shit forever. The internet keeps shit forever. You are seeing presidents down the line of history saying, we're going to protect Israel from Iran.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first nigga that's doing this.
Come on, man.
They've been saying this forever.
The same exact thing. I'm talking about, listen,
The
game don't change. The players do. They saying the exact same thing. Everything Trump said in the State of the Union, Barack, Biden, Hillary, Clinton, Bush, they said the exact same thing, the exact same way. This ain't no cap.
I'm so glad you can see it, Trav. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, why can me and you clearly see this? And this is where I get mad when they talk about the 5%ers and the 85. Me and you ain't that fucking smart. We can clearly see it because it's in fucking front of us. It ain't like digging no hole. Like you said, it ain't deep. They're saying the exact same fucking thing. I posted video footage today, right? People don't understand that politics, that's what it is. People don't understand that when Hillary Clinton was running against Barack Obama, she said, Donald Trump, the point I'm making is I posted video of her saying, we have to peacefully negotiate with Iran. That's the best way to solve their policy. And then the very next year with a shorter haircut saying, we will bomb Iran and obliterate the entire nation with a force they've never seen before. And it's like you're seeing politicians say shit based on who they running against. And at the time, the internet does not disappear.
Yeah. Listen, man, for 4 years, I told you Biden won't exist 20 years from now. But for 4 years, these same political fanatics of Trump had no interest in politics for 4 years. They didn't talk. We talked religion. They didn't talk politics. It was Obama, Trump, bing, 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 Biden, we ain't interested. Trump, bing, 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 bing. Hey, look, man, I don't know how to explain it neither. But let me ask you a question. And I really want you to break this down in a master teacher type of way, because this is what it boils down to. What is the difference between objective and subjective?
Objective is what's evidence, what can be proven, what you can see. Subjective is what you think about some shit. Subjective is what you think about some shit based on the situation. You're looking at the subject and not looking at the object. So I'm an objective thinker. My mind might change depending on the object, but you're gonna focus on the same subject. I think subjective thinking is a weakness.
Come on. Let me give an example in a levels of leadership type of way. In management, right? I went to a meeting and it was all managers in a corporate type meeting, and we had an objective meeting about where we was going in the industry. And I had to leave my feelings at the door. And in that meeting, objectively, they said that changes must happen. Cuts must be made. There's things in jeopardy. I understood clearly what was being said. But when I walked out that door, I knew I had a responsibility as a leader. I got to deliver these changes to those that looked for me in leadership. Now, I subjectively got down. People was going to get laid off. So people was going to have to switch shifts. And these were life-changing changes that people didn't see coming. And I knew it could almost rock their foundation. But I had to be the deliverer of this news, which was necessary for us to maintain business. Man, subjectively, I was fucked up. But objectively, I knew what I had to do.
Yeah.
And this is about leadership. Like I say, everybody saying the same thing. Well, objectively, as a husband and a father who runs this house, there are certain times that I got to put my feelings aside. And even if I got to stand on something, it may cause a conflict. It may cause a disruption. But goddamn, in the bigger picture, I got to rock the boat. But if I can't understand that as a man objectively, then subjectively, well, I don't want her to feel like this, and I don't want them to know this, and I don't want them. And I started to get this old bitch ass mentality. While the big picture get lost in my feelings. See, amongst men, we tell each other, get out your fucking feelings. You got to have a clear mind to understand how to make decisions. And some of the hardest decisions you got to make to overall the big picture, man, some people got to hurt in it. And that's what make people being worthy or being understanding if they ready to be a leader. Because if you ain't ready to be a leader, you can't make them hard decisions. So you can't make them hard decisions when somebody cutting short and bullshitting, and you got to sit them down and talk to them like an adult with no misunderstanding. I ain't trying to child you. I ain't trying to shorten you. But I'm telling you, objectively, you got expectations and requirements. And if you either can get them or you can't, I hate to tell you, this ain't going to work. This relationship ain't going to work objectively. Subjectively. See how this works? So I'm using this example to say, we looking at politics. We looking at everything through our feelings, and these feelings has been cultivated and programmed like a goddamn voodoo spell. And we don't realize it, man. We ranting. Let's say ignorant is when you rant about things you ignore. Man, come on, man. We ranting about things we ignore. And we're using rhetoric to act like we know what we're talking about. The comprehension level is real low in America, in a diaspora. Go ask your children right now if they in school. If they in school with 20, ask them how many people in the class can stand up and read out loud proud. Maybe 5. You was an English teacher. How many? How many? Be honest. How many in a room of 30, how many children can read out loud proud with comprehension?
You might have 10 that can read out loud proud, but of that 10, only 3 can comprehend. The other ones are just reading words. It's
so
like
we all children that done got old.
Mm-hmm.
We're just ranting about things we ignore and using rhetoric through our feelings, thinking we understand.
Peep this, Trav. Think about what you said about subjectivity and objectivity, right? And I said subjectivity is weak. Think about this. When you go out there to that plant floor and start putting out those mandates and laying certain people off, they're going to subjectively think that you're doing this and that you're doing this based on your feelings. And you see how sad subjectively you got for them and how you felt for them and how you know, like, damn, I got to go out here and say this, and this overtime is shut. This person going to get laid off. This person's shift going to get switched. And no matter how you do that objectively, when you finish, the whole plant that's under you going to subjectively decide.
I ain't shit. He ain't shit. You know what I mean? He ain't shit. And all I did was
go out there and tell them folks exactly what you said. But think about this. This is how I say, and it's hard. See, Trav, politically correct is the fucking devil's advocate to objectivity. You see what I'm saying? And Barack Obama made the world politically correct, and Donald Trump is an objective thinker. Now watch this. You said something that's so amazing to me. A girl can have a bad boyfriend that she like and love and fuck her over. And she said, as soon as she break up with him, she said, I got to try a good guy. Then she get a good guy. And she realized this nice motherfucker ain't shit. He just trying to get some pussy the nice way. I'm going to go back to the bad guy. Then I'm going to go back to the good guy. I'm going to go back to the bad guy. And people don't realize since I've been born, that's what America has done. Went from bad guy to good guy, Republican to Democrat. So it's like people don't realize I had made a post, which lets me know you tuned in, tapped in, turned on. I said Donald Trump is a result of Barack Obama. Donald Trump is a result of a man getting in the White House that was elected, that was so fucking straddle the fence, so fucking liberal, so fucking gay that America said, we got to get a motherfucking tough motherfucking here after him. We can't have that again. You know what I'm saying? It was no different than Bush was a fucking straight-laced goddamn George Bush Sr., straight-laced motherfucker, do what he do. And then after that, they said, we got to have a smooth motherfucking Bill Clinton here. Goddamn. Then we had 8 years of smooth black Bill. Then they said, we need a goddamn tough George Bush Jr. type motherfucker, because we had 8 years of some bullshit here and there getting his dick sucked and shit. And then after that, after we had Bush, then it's like we gotta go back to Obama. You see what I'm saying? So it's a situation where once we got Obama, we got so liberal. We got so politically correct that we couldn't say nothing about nothing. So when Trump came in the office, being objective, saying anything, what he say, he is the result of Trump. Our next president after Trump, if it continues the cycle, which I think the cycle is being broken now, because what we're starting to realize that one party will fucking just all out lie. I'd rather be ignored than lied to. The Republican Party will ignore black folks. They will ignore Latinos. They will ignore immigrants. The Democrats will lie to those people I just said. And I think the world is starting to see these motherfuckers just lying. They lying. They're accusing Trump of doing everything that everybody else did. Like you just said, you can't cut it no clearer. The fucking State of the Union dress. Every one of them say the same things. When every one of them, when you speak on immigration, you can go down the fucking list.
Same thing.
And every one of them said it's too many immigrants taking good jobs from the American people, and I will deport immigrants. Everyone said the exact same fucking thing. Trump is just the first one that's fucking really doing it. Man, and I think that's what's happening, man.
Man, listen, man.
Exact same fucking thing, man.
Listen, your attention is the most powerful thing you can pay. I say when you rant about things you ignore, when you ignore something, you don't pay it attention. But your attention is the most powerful thing you will pay. So many people hate Trump, but they never pay what he says the attention. They pay the attention to the ones who hate them and program them what to think and speak rhetoric of hate. So they're actually ignoring the real objective of what they're saying. Because if you just pay attention to what he's saying, then you can objectively understand the game. It ain't about agreeing or disagreeing. It's about understanding the game. Who got the ball? Who passes the ball? And you realize that your ball is really, the ball is really your mind. Like I say, we don't remember 5 years ago that COVID, the quarantine, we don't remember that no more on how politics got the ball. In COVID, they showed you that Jesus is only a product of the state. Church is a product of the state. The government shut church down and put everybody's faith on the clothesline to dry out. We are the ones that you need to trust to make it through this. And since then, look at how much, man, we use fear to almost say that Donald Trump is going to destroy the world. Oh my God, Armageddon, World War II. Donald Trump right now, while politics has the ball, is more powerful. And I want to say this objectively, not subjectively. So put your feelings aside. Objectively, Donald Trump's name is more powerful in influence and expression than Jesus is on planet Earth. Right now.
I totally agree with you.
Objectively. This ain't got nothing to do with whether you believe or not. Come on, man.
I totally agree with you because you can see it. You see Christians afraid and worried that this man is going to destroy the earth. You know, it's funny because I was teaching on Facebook and I was talking about the Balfour Agreement. In 1917, Woodrow Wilson, this shit can be looked up. 1917, Woodrow Wilson and sat down and wrote 14 points of why the U.S. should always back Israel, the Jews. And he basically said in 1917, we're going to make sure the Jews take over Palestine. And it happened in 1948. Now, World War I was about the Jews, and World War II was about the Jews, and World War III, which they saying now, will be about the Jews, and it will always be like that because Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. It used to be the capital of Judah in the Bible. Judah is the northern kingdom. Long story short, Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. In Jerusalem right now, they have the Dome of the Rock. That's where they say Muhammad ascended into heaven. So in Israel, you got the Dome of the Rock where Muhammad ascended into heaven. You got the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. That's where Jesus was crucified. And then the Dome of the Rock was built on Solomon's second temple that was destroyed by the Romans. So you got the foundational buildings of 3 religions right there in that one area.
Now watch this. And all 3 religions are tied together by one character. If you understand this, the Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all 3 are in this here war. And we all know that the name got changed around, what was it, 1942 or somewhere around up in there. They made this. This is what you call a Benedict, when they're benedicting the Bible to somewhat make it a reality. And they're using politics, but we don't understand the game. Now, I want to talk to black folk. See, just right before COVID, we had a woke culture. You would go on YouTube, you could watch Bobby Hemmett, you could watch Metaphysic talking people. You had Polite, you had all of these people who was getting a big momentum talking woke, talking religious. You had debates, you had the Kemet debate and the Israelites. Everybody was wanting to claim this aspect of the Bible in some sort. But not too long ago, see, we don't remember, Kanye West got castrated for saying that black people was the chosen people of the Bible. Nick Cannon got castrated. See, they tried to let this woke culture get into black entertainment, and they start castrating them. Don't you say this Bible is about you. And so much that we don't even want to be Hebrew Israelites no more. They smacked our goddamn minds so goddamn hard that we don't want to do nothing with the Bible no more. Now we want to be Native American Indians. We don't even want to be in the story no more. They say, get your goddamn black ass out of here talking about this Bible is about you. And now they fighting to make it real. But we don't understand. See, America represents the white man. We can say, oh, man, it's about the oil. Well, here go another fact. America has more oil than any country, any nation on planet Earth. Don't you remember the Clampets, Jed Clampett, when they found the oil in their backyard growing up and they was rich? The oil is here. So the whole fight is about the dollar. The dollar is Jesus. You're going to respect.
You know, it's funny because when you look at it, it's like people try to make it about oil and different things, but this fight was happening before niggas was using oil out the ground. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that. People don't realize. Say, for example, it's funny. People don't realize the reason they call this the New World is because the Middle East was the most precious piece of land on this earth at one time. And people don't realize now we live in the New World. America is the most precious piece of land on this earth. That's what people don't understand. And you got the Middle East and America. They got everything that you need to exist. You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is Christians, Jews, and motherfucking Muslims have been fighting over this area forever before they knew oil was in the ground. There was a crusade that happened where they were fighting, and the Muslims beat the Christians' ass. And that's why the Spanish Reconquista, Christopher Columbus is tied into it, because after the Muslims kicked the Christians' ass, he was charged with going looking for somewhere else to live.
Come on.
We heard about this new world over here. Now that we come over here and establish this new world, we still want that over there too. America don't forget nothing now. We still want that over there. Now, how hard would it be for us as Christians who already got our ass kicked and ran up out of the Middle East to the New World? Now that we done regrouped in the New World and we want that over there, how hard would that be to go back and say, hey, let's start a whole nother Christian-Muslim war? Well, let's do this. Like you said, the Abrahamic religions is very simple. Instead of us fighting the Muslim for this area again as Christians, let's put the Jew over there in the middle of them, the father of us both. Mm. And when you put Israel right in the middle of Palestine, in the middle of the Middle East, now you have a Christian ally.
Come on, man.
Over there. So Christians have an ally in the Middle East. So instead of us trying to take the Middle East, we just back Israel, and Israel tell us everything that's going on over there. So what you essentially has is America ruling the Middle East without even have to fight the Muslims again. Now, watch this. Haven't you noticed every election all over the country, it's Muslims running for office? They're doing a jihad trying to take over our government. We're trying to take over their religion, and they're trying to take over our government. Those Somalis in Minnesota, they're Muslims. They're Arab Muslims. And people looking at them thinking they black. No, they speak Arab. They Arab Muslims. So what you have is a situation, we as America, like, shit, long as we got Israel in the Middle East, we got a spy, we got an ally, and we always gonna protect them, because in protecting them, we got an excuse to bomb anybody in the Middle East that we need to. We taking that land back. That's all that is. That's why the Balfour Agreement, that's why the president said, we're gonna put them over there. In World War I, we're gonna put them over there. World War II, they got kicked out of Germany. We're gonna get them somewhere. And they over there. We had 2 world wars over them being over there. This is about the United States taking the Middle East back, man. This ain't about nothing else but that. This 3rd World War, Israel. That's why you see every president say, we're going to support Israel. Bill Clinton, we're going to support Israel. Israel's an ally. Barack Obama, we're going to support Israel. Everybody say we're going to support Israel. What do you do when you become president? Why every president is over there at the wall with the hat on, fucking lean down, every last one of them. We have to say we're going to support Israel because that's how we take that piece of land back. It's the Holy Land.
Man,
let me finish this last statement. If we don't agree that's the Holy Land, we don't have a right to be over there. Just let them fight over it. We calling it our Holy Land too, though. We ain't even over there.
Hey, look. I want to ask you to break this down. Break down the covenant between the 2 brothers that made Islam and Christianity. About the scripture where it talk about it being an allegory, but break down that covenant and how the 2 brothers went their separate ways. I'm just throwing it out there. Break that down for me.
Abraham was married to a woman named Sarah, and God had promised him that he was going to have a child, and his seed was going to be innumerable all over the earth. And Abraham hadn't had no kids yet. And Abraham, angel came to Abraham and was like, yo, you're going to have a son. He's going to come out of your loins. And Sarah heard the angel and laughed. She like, shit. And when Abraham told her that, she was like, shit, we old. We ain't had no kids yet. We ain't going to have no kids. go into in there and fuck Hagar, who is my handmaiden, and have a kid with her. And Abraham, instead of listening to the angel of God, decided he was gonna go in there and hit that pussy. And he had a son by Hagar named Ishmael. And he was happy, and Sarah was happy, like thinking he got an offspring. But then God was like, no, you fucked up. I told you was gonna have a son of your own out of your own balls. And then God was like, just believe me. And then he had sex with his wife, Sarah, and she had Isaac. You know what I'm saying? And basically God told Abraham, because you fucked your handmaiden and had Ishmael, I'm gonna goddamn test you. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, when Isaac was born, that's when Sarah was like jealous before Isaac was born, fucking with Hagar, your son, jealous. And then when she had Isaac, she was like, fuck your son. And so she was just like fucking with Hagar so much. And she went to Abraham and was like, fuck that bitch. Now that we got our own son, send that motherfucker out in the desert. And Abraham, like a little bitch, sent his son Ishmael out into the desert. You know what I'm saying? And God told him, you got to sacrifice Isaac because you ain't believe me for him. And he went up to sacrifice him, and God ended up sending a ram in the bush, and he sacrificed that ram. So that's the story of the Jew and the Muslim coming from the same man's nuts. That's okay. Why Abraham is the father of both of them.
Okay, so I asked you that for a reason, and I'm going to break it down into politics. So Abraham represents the family. He represents the lineage, grandmama and granddad and them. The one son represents Islam, the other son represents Christianity. This is why Muslims and Christians are always fighting, because they represent polarity, and they saying we inherit the true family, and they saying, nah, man, you ain't goddamn grandma, you ain't granddaddy favorite offspring, we is over here. So America represents Jesus. That's Christianity. The Jews represents grandmama and them. Think about it in the way it's living now. Grandma and them dead. Aunts and uncles want to act like who got the right to what grandma and them stood for. Now we got siblings fighting. Every time grandma and them die, siblings start fighting like a motherfucker in real life because they want to argue about who got the rights to what grandmama and granddaddy had the most. So America represents Christianity. That's why in America, you got one Jesus with 12 disciples. That's the son going in 12 months. It's our agriculture system. This is the time Jesus was crucified and died. And Easter, when he get ready to come back. See, it's our agriculture story. America, the new world, the New Testament. So they going over there to granddad in them land, where the Jews at. And they telling Muslim them, look, we'll blow your ass up. Keep fucking with grandmama and them. We done told you they left this shit to us. And so we don't realize that it's all connected. It's all the same game. In America, it's the smartest, richest, she really grandma baby. She both powerful, and all of them know it. All of them know it. And this ain't got nothing to do with our black ass. This is a fairy tale that's being made true on real blood. And we don't see the game. We don't see the game. We in the game, getting played like the goddamn ball of the game. Let me tell y'all something about America, talking to black people. Use your phone and be smart. Look up population. Man, we about 13 and 12%. Man, the Hispanics got us in America by 10%. They kicking 30 and 40 in the ass. White folk, 60 and 70. Asians, they up under us still. But the Mexicans, they done came here and they done took our game. We don't die, we multiply. We ain't multiplying no more. They multiplying. They multiplying like a motherfucker. Use your phone. Look at the game. We ain't playing the game, y'all. The game, they putting us out the game because we don't understand. The Mexicans kicking our ass like a ball. I'm going to say this right here, man, on the game. This real talk. It's real talk. This ain't got nothing to do with that shit, but I want to say this. I was in Food Line the other day, and I'm in line with two dudes. They dope dealers. But they whispering. I'm sitting there listening. They say, man, the game fucked up, dog. I can't find no way nowhere. He said, man, I'm for real, man. Man, my plug got them scared of ice. They won't move, man. He say, mine too. So I already know the plugs is Mexicans. Plugs them Hispanics. Cartel. We hear these words, but we don't understand the plugs. See, I remember back in the 90s, my cousin them was a plug. They was the plugs. They all went to jail with conspiracy on Fed charges and done got them 20 years. They was the plugs. We ain't the plugs no more. So now we're watching the feds run after the plugs, and the plugs got the game fucked up because they scared. But we sitting here looking, cheering, man, we got to stop ICE. Motherfucker, them the motherfuckers who got your babies fucked up. We came for them because we don't understand the goddamn game.
We're being subjective.
We're being subjective, man. In a game that we don't understand. Shit getting played on our mind. I pity the motherfucking fool who called himself after his name anything that's labeled in that cracker game.
That's it, man. We being subjective. Sometimes we don't understand before we get out of here. Sometimes we don't understand this, man. Somebody gotta motherfucking be a slave, man. Somebody gotta get exploited, man. Somebody got, in order for black people in America to live like we live, somebody gotta get exploited. I don't think people understand we are the richest, wealthiest refugee slaves that has ever existed. I don't think people understand black people have a short history of slavery. The Jews were slaves 2,000 years, man. Other people were slaves for thousands of years. Black people in America, we only been slaves 400 years. We have a short history of bondage. I don't think we understand that. I don't think we understand that we as slaves, former slaves, our per capita income is like number 5 in the world. Black people, the former slaves, got the wealth of a top 5 country. I don't think we understand how blessed we are. I don't think we really get that. That's why everybody want to be an American black man, wishing they had our position, and we pissing it down our legs because we being subjective. We caring about everybody else. We don't understand that we are the biggest consumers of the white man's tyranny. If it's somewhere somebody getting persecuted, we buying from it. Sell me the goddamn cheaper diamonds. I want them diamonds. Man. We over here, hey, they got kids in sweatshops. Well, shit, I'm buying the Nikes. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are the biggest consumers of oppression, and we don't look at it objectively. Somebody got to go in them mines and dig that zinc and that cobalt, and for us to have these phones and these computers. Somebody got to go get that platinum out the ground so we can goddamn have these goddamn Cadillac converters in our cars. Somebody got to do that shit. I just bought a Cadillac converter for my Honda. It's 3 of them. They were $1,700. If somebody won't dig in that ground, getting their ass kicked, getting that shit out the ground, that Cadillac converter might be $17,000.
Come on.
Somebody got to be fucked over. It used to be that black people picking cotton and free labor is the way, reason this country ran. Now we as black people, we benefiting off motherfuckers picking the fruit. The black man ain't picking the fruit no more. Them goddamn strawberries and grapes and oranges and shit you eating, this Mexicans picking that shit. Somebody got to do that. And I don't think we realize, hey, listen, man, it's some goddamn kids gonna get killed somewhere for you to live like you live, no matter how you cut it. White folks killed black kids in the church back in the day to show black people, you motherfuckers better be scared of us so they can live how they live. These kids just got bombed in Iran in the church. That's just the thing, man. Like you say, it's the same thing happening. Somebody has to be the motherfucker with the foot on their neck for us to eat good. Somebody got to be out that bitch risking their motherfucking life on a shrimp boat so we can have motherfucking crab legs. Somebody got to do that.
Man, let me say this. You got to understand how it works. When you see how it works, you can work it and make it work for you. If you don't understand how it works, it will get worked on you, and you're vulnerable to the intentions of the one working it on you, right? You have no defense if you don't understand how it works. So let me say this objectively. Make America great again. Objectively. Got to understand your position in it to see how it works. America is the dollar. Bottom line. America ain't people. America is the dollar. In God we trust. The dollar. America was built. The value of the dollar was built off slavery. Diamond and Players Club said, make the money, don't let the money make you. We as black people in America, in our particular position, we suffer because we look for love in all the wrong places. We created the value of the dollar. Now we look for the value, we look for the dollar to create the value in us. We ain't shit if we ain't got no dollars. When our grandparents, the ones that cultivated us and the ones that cultivated them, were the most powerful people on planet Earth. I'm talking about Black History Month just ended. We looked at the most powerful people on Earth and their contributions. They made these contributions for free, out of necessity. Not for $1. Not for $1. So when we lose our perspective and understand how it works, and we now serve the dollar as our God, we serve the dollar as the white man. We transform into his mind to get more dollars. We don't know who he is. We don't know our position. We don't understand how it works. It's getting worked on us by every goddamn thing. And he doing exactly what he said. He's making America great again. It always and always will be known to be great because of the strongest military on planet Earth, forced by the gun and by the Bible. And he goddamn in full rage right fucking now, and the whole world know America is fucking great again. Get out your goddamn feelings. This ain't got shit to do with how you feel as a black person. Look at how it's working. It's great.
It's goddamn great, Trav. We're going to get up out of here on that note.
Man, that motherfucker will kill. Man, let me tell you something. That motherfucking Muslim, I'm real now because this shit raw. Ain't no other way to say it. I can say it to feel good, to sound nice, but you got to feel this. That motherfucking Muslim act like he wanted beef and he was dead in 24 hours. He put his son up. He was dead in 24 hours. If you don't think that the world knows the dollar is back and great as ever.
Clip that. We gonna use that. Y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on to me and my guy Tribe Perry every Tuesday. Tomorrow, y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on for me and Miss Carla Wilson for Random Raven Wednesdays. And then y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on to my guy right here, Tribe Perry, for Hero Training on Facebook at 9:30. Peace.